back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by as we creep closer to 500. We got Klashnekoff, Parrowdice, probably a play on Parrowdice, I'm guessing. We all know this cat, man. One of the goats. He gets asked for a lot. A lot of MCs I talk to bring up his name when they talk about the list of inspirations. So, I mean, the dude definitely has to be in this list, man, of 15. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Give it a listen.
And when I get so fucking upset, I don't bother blood clot talk English bomber clot grammar. Cause them things that get me very bomber clot upset. Seen? And all because, you know why? I am not singing darling, I blood clot love you and come shake my rust and I'll swim the ocean and climb the mountain. Seen? And that not going to change me. Seen? Because I am going to kill the fuckery out there. And people is going to be in demand for the truth. People is sick and tired of hearing bomber clot, get down, shake your fucking booty. See? People is sick and tired of hearing darling, I blood clot, love you. You turn on the fucking radio 24 bomber clot hours a day. You hear darling, I love you. A man singing, a man wouldn't sing to the almighty ass clot. Him love him woman more than the creator who create the sun, the moon and the bomber clot star. I sick and tired of hearing that bomber blood clot. Sing?
Yeah, as we travel through trial and tribulation avenue, destination Xanadu, smoking a suit, drinking Jack Daniels and Malibu, flammable sidewalks where guys walk like cyborgs, the minds walk scorched with polluted thoughts. I sought resolution, then I swore retribution.
Come on, man, I'm bringing this back. Kailash right off the top, man. Trials and Tribulations Avenue. He's just talking about going through his daily life, man. It's just the trials and tribulations. He's got his mind set on Xanadu. Now, my guess is that Xanadu means something different to him than it does to me, because for me, Xanadu is one of the worst movies ever made. It truly is. It is horseshit. Horrible movie. However, I'm guessing Xanadu is kind of being used in this idea of paradise, kind of like the Garden of Eden, heaven, whatever it is, man. That paradise is where he's talking about that Xanadu, and he's saying once he gets there, man, he's gonna sit back, gonna drink a little Jack Daniels, gonna smoke a little weed, just live his life, and it's cool, man, because he's talking about the sidewalks being like did he say something about being like lit on fire or something like that? People are just cyborgs, like robots, man. Like we say zombies now. It's like people that just going through their day-to-day lives, like they're programmed. They're going, doing their thing, not paying attention. And he's surrounded by these people, man. You get to that point where you start to feel that way. You look around and say, what the fuck is going on with all these people? Right off the top, man. He just doesn't waste any time. He just jumps right in. God damn.
Yeah, as we travel through trial and tribulation avenue, destination Xanadu, smoking a suit, drinking Jack Daniels and Malibu, flammable sidewalks where guys walk like cyborgs, the minds walk scorched with polluted thoughts. I sought resolution, then I swore retribution for brains abusing this music like it was boozing. You're left battered and bruised from the terror firm movement. T stands for the F for further improvement. Cause life can teach so much if you're a willing student. I know it seems deep and at times life confusing. Your old world's crumbling like aeroplanes colliding with ice sky rises. How many more lives before we realize there's a crisis? I cry red mist, but still live with the will to climb Everest. Living in this friggin' world full of pessimists, reminiscing on days raving in Pegasus when braids get.
Man, I like that idea too. Like he's so angry, he's so sad, he's just angry and just so full of sadness and depression and anger when he's looking around and seeing everything that's happening, that he's actually crying red mist, like this, because when you see in red, right, that's what you say, when you're angry you see red. So he's just crying that red mist, man. But at the same time he's saying, like, I ain't gonna even though I'm so angry, I'm keeping my level head, man. I'm gonna stay that course. I'm gonna climb Mount Everest. I'm not gonna change that. I'm gonna keep pushing upward. I like that mindset. I'm gonna bring this back here because there's something else he said that I wanted to stop. I was a little bit slow on the draw there.
crumbling like aeroplanes colliding with ice sky rises. How many more lies before we realize there's a crisis? I cry red mist, but still live with the will to climb Everest. Living in this friggin' world full of pessimists, reminiscing on days raving in Pegasus, where braids get popped, police asking where the weapon is. Welcome to the East Maze, this is where the devil lives. The devil lives, the devil lives. Yeah, saga. We little kids pedal shit and settle sick situations with a metal stick. Leave you stiff. This world's damned and contaminated with biological hatred. It's blatant. Morpheus tried to show you in the Matrix, but was you watching the beanie? You're clocking for the ages. Practice.
I wonder if that what he's saying. Something about the exact term now. Fuck. What does he say? When he's saying about the hate being biological, I wonder. I could have multiple terms there, man. I'm thinking multiple, like the idea that you hate somebody for who they are, what the color of their skin is, stuff like that. That's you know, you hate somebody for their biology. Whether you hate them because they're a woman, hate them because they're black, hate them because they're East Indian, whatever it is, that you hate them only because of their biology. But at the same time, you can say that hate often gets passed down, right? Because if you put two kids together, black, white, Asian, whatever, you put them together, they play. They don't give a shit. Same thing with me growing up. The friends that I had, man, I had friends of every single color, didn't matter. But when you get that family biology where the hatred is kind of like bred at that point, where you inject it into the children, and then they then become racist. They then begin to hate people for biology. So it's kind of that it's a cool way of him doing that, man. It's a good way, like I said, cool way of him getting 2 points across with one bar. I think that's what he meant. You know, man, I grasp at straws sometimes, but that's what I think he meant. And I think about that shit all the time too. Like he's saying, like, how many more lives have to be taken? How many? I mean, I should have checked the age of this track, but it just so many times, man, when I'm listening to UK hip hop and well, just hip hop in general too, from older stuff, and you hear some bars get dropped, and you just think like, Jesus Christ, this is 30, 40 years ago. And they're talking about the similar situations that are ailing society, and nothing has changed. If it has changed, it's changed for the worse. Anyway, man, this is dope, and I like what he's done here too, man. Because I thought he was going to jump into the hook, because you got a little bit of that cut in there, changed his rhythm a little bit. And he's just continuing on with the verse. It's dope.
We little kids pedal shit and settle sick situations with a metal stick. Leave you stiff. This world's damned and contaminated with biological hatred. It's blatant. Morpheus tried to show you in the Matrix, but was you watching the beanie? You're clocking for the ages. Practice pure patience, produces pure payment. While puny little prentos are a pain in the anus. Fuck aiming to be famous, I'm aiming to flamers at Tony Blair's face first. Worst come to worst blood, I'll kidnap his neighbors. My word blood, trust, yeah. Parrowdice, Parrownites. A paradox with shots, leave race paralyzed. My life's a paradigm surrounded by parasites. Don't wanna die at this man-made
and now I've woken
paradise.
up to reality, it feels like I'm still asleep. Still it seems like I'm trapped in the illest dream. Shit is sweet in a...
Shit. This is not Kailash here. This is somebody else. Damn it. I don't know who it is. That's interesting too. In the hook, he talks about the paradigm. His life's a paradigm surrounded by parasites, and I'm thinking like a paradigm is kind of like that. It's like a pattern, right? So oftentimes people who are born from poverty just join into this pattern. It's an ongoing pattern. And they have kids, and then those kids get born into poverty. And they have kids, and those kids get born into poverty. It's very hard to break that pattern, and I'm thinking that's what he's talking about. Like his life's a pattern. It's just that, and then being surrounded by parasites. I mean, parasites is horrible, right? They're bloodsuckers. They feed off of you. And he could be using that term for a whole bunch of different cats, man. in situations.
Feels like I'm still asleep. Still it seems like I'm trapped in the illest dream. Shit is sweet in the minds of these timid sheep. It's paradise, and life is the biggest beach. My inner's deep as I step through these wicked streets. Figures bleeding to death when the trigger squeeze. Killing screams are in tune to the killer's theme. Sinners weep at the sound of my vivid speech. I drank bittersweet milk from my mother's breast. Young and vexed, living in the train of my brother's mess. I was only a youth when I discovered sex. I get to romance, we would hold hands in the lover's nest. Judge, I bless me with my own wish, and that's to prosper and hold it up for the soldiers I roll with. I'm weak, feeling so sick. I sip a touch of fruit Volvic. I know this life is fuckery as I grin and grimace in my mirror image, trying to deal with my inner feelings. My will is illest cause I'm still a realist. I'm done severing ties, so it's time to start building bridges. No things I believe behind a read.
Yes, I love that. What a bar.
Mirror image, trying to deal with my inner feelings. My will is illest cause I'm still a realist. I'm done severing ties, so it's time to start building bridges. Not things I believe behind, I redefine my plans, blood, free my mind. I feel inclined to read in between the lines, till the day that I found what I seek to find. Parrowdice, Parrowdace, Parrownights.
Sorry, I know I'm a positive man. I love that. I feel inclined to read between the lines until I find what I'm looking for. Well, I know I fucked that up, but you know what I'm trying to say. I love that, man. Because that's what you have to do. Especially these days, man, where there's so much shit 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're just bombarded on whether it's social media, whether it's the legacy media, whether it's YouTube. You got so much shit. Friends, family, they're all telling you shit. None of it makes any sense. You got to read between the lines because somewhere among all the nonsense, man, is the truth. And you have to be inclined, man, because there's too many people who just sit back and take that shit. That whatever they're spoon-fed is what they take. Swallow that shit, man. Swallow it down without questioning. And it's up to you. You have to be the one that decides. That kind of sounds like fuckery to me. I'm going to take a second. I'm going to double check. I'm going to find some information that either backs this up or refutes it. I'm not going to take it 100% because that's the smart way to do shit, man. Just don't bend over and just let them shovel coal up your ass, man. Like, I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Find my plans, blood, free my mind. I feel inclined to read in between the lines, till the day that I found what I seek to find. Parrowdice, Parrowdace, Parrownights. A paradox with shots, leave race paralyzed. My life's a paradigm, surrounded by parasites. Don't wanna die in this man-made paradise. Parrowdice, Parrowdace, Parrownights. A paradox with shots, leave race paralyzed. My life's a paradigm, surrounded by parasites. Don't wanna die in this man-made paradise.
Only death I recollect. From birth, my umbilical cord is like a noose around my abdominal by my neck. In retrospect, I check out scenarios in my life was I destined for strife and slip wrist due to.
Man, again, I don't know who this cat is. That sucks that I don't. Just kind of going back to what I was saying about that. My life is a paradigm surrounded by these parasites. But how the pattern continues, and this cat's saying the same thing, man. Even before he was born, his umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck as like a noose, man. And before, because he was being born in a situation that he was already behind, that pattern was already there, so he was being born into that, man. He's already behind. He's already got that noose. He's got that. He's already, I guess, in his way, in kind of what he's saying is he's already dying even before he was born, because he's being born into this pattern. Anyway, brilliant.
Parrowdice, Parrowdice, Parrowdace, Parrownights. A paradox with shots, leave race paralyzed. My life's a paradigm, surrounded by parasites. Don't wanna die in this man-made
Only
paradise.
death I recollect. From birth, my umbilical cord is like a noose around my abdominal by my neck. In retrospect, I check out scenarios in my life was I destined for strife and slip wrist due to a knife I don't know. I'm hungry and I haven't eaten, but I'm scared cause there's only apple trees in this false garden of Eden. Plus the cyanide in the seeds. But I've devoured apples so fast, my skin's turning blue and I'm starting to bleed. Call me.
Fuck, I know I'm pausing. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. The Garden of Eden, and he's talked about, and then he talks about there being cyanide in the seeds. It's fucking dope, man, because there's actually the Garden of Eden. The apple was the from the tree of life was the apple. What was my mom would not be happy. I don't remember what the fruit was called. There's an apple. Anyways, there is I guess there's a chemical inside of apple seeds that does have cyanide, or if it chemically could change to cyanide, or it is cyanide, whatever it is. I like the way he did that, man. And also cyanide kills you. So he's saying, like, you know, we're in Eden. There is that fruit. Did he say apple juice or something? I thought I heard apple juice, but there is that fruit. It's this tempting fruit that you have, but really it's just full of cyanide. So it's that dream you're chasing, or those promises that are being made. It's really poison.
To check out scenarios in my life reside destined for strife and slip wrist due to a knife I don't know. I'm hungry and I haven't eaten, but I'm scared cause there's only apple trees in this false garden of Eden. Plus the cyanide in the seeds, but I've devoured apples so...
Sorry, I just want to say, I thought he said apple juice, but he says there's only apple trees in this fool's garden of Eden. God damn, what a bar.
There's only apple trees in this false garden of Eden. Plus the cyanide in the seeds, but I've devoured apples so fast my skin's turning blue and I'm starting to bleed. Call me vindictive, but what's in the name? A rose by any other designation still smells the same. I came to a fork in the road, took the middle path. My heart broken so bad, man, needed a skin graft. I laughed at my bad luck and carried on, walking to my goal. Though most of my soul was gone. Fell from heaven, tormented in hell, locked in the cell. White knives fell, mouth stitched past the L. Throat and wrist slit twice with double-edged cleavers to show Satan's doing to all the non-believers. Not even Jesus wanted to be my fucking savior, cause he knows I favor the feeling of damn bad behavior. Crave the sensation of dark forces, drawing the root of evil from even the source of the root sources. Remorseless.
Parrowdice, Parrowdays, Parrownights. A paradox for shots, we raise paralyzed. My life's a paradigm surrounded by parasites. Don't wanna die in this man-made paradise. Parrowdice, Parrowdays, Parrownights. A paradox for shots, we raise paralyzed. My life's a paradigm surrounded by fear crime. Don't wanna dead in this man-made paradise. Man-made paradise. What material paradise? Yeah.
This is brought to you by Chemic Entertainment Record.
Yeah, man. God damn, what a great track. I really enjoyed that. This whole idea too, like he's talking about the man-made paradise, the material paradise, and then, you know, again, they talked about Xanadu, talked about the Garden of Eden, the Fool's Garden of Eden, man. So all three of these cats brought it together so well. These verses were outstanding. That last cat bringing up the thing, like, even Jesus didn't want to be my savior. Oh man, that's hard. God, that's hard. But anyway, really enjoyed this track, man. Outstanding. Just another example of this fine music coming out of the UK, man. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for being here, being part of it as we creep closer to 500. Like I said, can't believe we're almost there. Hopefully you're enjoying this countdown. I know a few of you reached out and said that you have. So I appreciate each and one of y'all, man. Let me in your house, let me in your ears, let me in your phone, whatever it is. I appreciate you. And until next time, hopefully tomorrow, stay safe. Good to each other.